We're streaming live at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, also at the port of Tema. On YouTube, we're streaming live on Eye on Port. Remember, you also get the opportunity to interact with us via our dedicated WhatsApp line is 0538 037353, 0538 037353, where we'll also open the phone lines in the course of the discussion for you to make your contributions to the discussion. So get ready. Let's do this together. I'll introduce my guest to you. Today we're discussing a very interesting topic, very important for you and I, because you consume fish, I consume fish. In fact, the whole thing called ocean is a very important thing to all of us. So that's what we're going to be focusing on, as this week we celebrated World Maritime Day. Stay with me. I'll be introducing my guest to you shortly after this break.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, Wufilia, huh? Wubefi. Goil, good energy. Yeah.
Electricity, pay your taxes, our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena. You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately. There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain.
with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302-246319 or 0302-246644 or any of our branches, agencies, and brokers spread across the nation. You can as well connect with us on our WhatsApp chatbot. Efiba is waiting to assist you. Make the future predictable with Phoenix Insurance. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
Back to Iron Ports is powered by GPHA. So let's check out some updates at the port and the maritime industry. Throughout the week, a lot happens at the port and in the maritime industry. This is how we at Iron Port update you on those happenings. The Deputy Minister of Transport, Dr. Afo Toffee, has paid a working visit to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority-GPHA as part of her engagement with agencies under the Ministry of Transport. The visit was to afford her first-hand insight into the operations of the Port Authority. The Deputy Minister, who was warmly received by the Director General of GPHA, Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulonu, commended GPHA for rolling out 24-hour port operations in line with government's 24-hour economy policy. She described the rollout as a significant step towards enhancing service delivery and boosting efficiency at the port.
The ports are playing a key role in the rollout of government's 24-hour economy policy. On this note, I wish to use this opportunity to commend you, the GPHA, for commencing the 24-hour operations here at the Tema port.
The Deputy Minister stressed the need for collaborative efforts among GPHA and other key stakeholders in the maritime value chain to ensure smooth port operations.
It is therefore imperative to drive improvements, both soft and infrastructure within the ports, to reduce transaction costs, facilitate trade, and continue to position our port as a hub for West African sub-region.
On his part, the Director General of GPHA, Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulonu, commended the Ministry of Transport for the support the Port Authority continues to enjoy under the able leadership of Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikwe, the Sector Minister. He pledged to lead the team to streamline processes, reduce turnaround time, and minimize double handling. He emphasized that GPHA's aim is to make Ghana's port more competitive, adding the authority is also engaging more with stakeholders, including journalists, to improve understanding and transparency. Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulonu revealed that efforts are underway to make Ghana's port a preferred hub.
We are operationalizing the home terminal so that when your items arrive and you are not ready to clear, it will be sent there, it will be unstuffed so that the containers can be returned to the shipping lines so that the demurrage issue will not count. So you pay your normal rent. Also trying to reduce the human interface in order to fasten the clearance of goods at the port. We are of the view that by the end of the year, the cost of doing business will reduce so to make us more competitive.
He hinted dredging activities have commenced at the port of Tema to accommodate larger vessels at berth 15 to berth 17.
We are dredging the Tema port to reduce the draft to 13-14 meters down. And then also we are trying to reduce double handling.
The General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Dr. Kingsley Nchibuesiako, made a presentation highlighting developments that have been undertaken at both the Tema and Takoradi ports.
Dry bulk terminal, it's actually the best in the sub-region. Kudos to management and engineers. That's where we handle our clinker, manganese, bauxite, and all the other dry cargo that comes to the port of Takrady. That is also dredged to Mano 16 Chadatum with a length of about 800 meters. So it means we can conveniently berth 3 different vessels with LOAs of about 250. So you could have manganese, you could have bauxite, and then you could conveniently have clinker also on berth at the same time. We intend to make things easier and facilitate trade for customers. We recently augmented our equipment fleet to boost evacuation and help in our operations.
The minister, together with her entourage, toured the port of Tema, including Terminal 3, to witness first-hand operations.
The Ghana Maritime Authority (GMA) joined the global community to commemorate the 2025 World Maritime Day. This year's celebration was held under the theme, Our Oceans, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity. A 3-day program was outlined to mark the occasion. On the first day, staff of the authority embarked on a float and community engagement exercise from the GMA premises to Manche Agbona in Jamestown. They interacted with fisher folks, guiding and empowering them with practical measures to protect the sea and reduce plastic pollution. On the second day, a cleanup exercise was organized in collaboration with stakeholders at the Regional Maritime University and Mighty Beach to collect waste along the shoreline. On Thursday, September 25, 2025, the climax of the World Maritime Day celebration was held in Tema. The event aimed at raising awareness of the ocean's vital role in the global economy and highlighting the maritime industry's responsibilities in conserving it. The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Dr. Kamaldeen Ali, stated that GMA remained committed to protecting the nation's exclusive economic zone, EEZ. He added that the authority had acquired an advanced over-the-horizon surveillance system capable of detecting activities far beyond the visible horizon.
Over the period, a new VTMIS has been acquired by the authority with extended capability across the maritime space, up to 200 nautical miles with over-the-horizon potential. That is also being installed soon, and His Excellency will have the opportunity of commissioning it soon again to make sure that our maritime environment is safe and secure.
The board chair of GMA, Jemilat Mahama, called for conscious efforts to protect the oceans because of its immense benefit to livelihoods.
Let us bear in mind that our ocean connects us. Our obligation to it binds us, and the opportunity it provides empowers us. As we celebrate, let us remember that choices we make today regarding the oceans and seas will echo across generations to come.
The IMO representative for Western Central Africa, Captain Dallas Lai, commended Ghana for its leadership in the maritime domain within the sub-region.
Our obligation is very clear. It is our duty to protect this precious resource. The IMO, with our member states like Ghana, is at the forefront of meeting this obligation through the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, MAPOL. We are cutting harmful emissions and limiting discharge of pollutants. We are phasing out greenhouse gas emissions from shipping, driving a transition to a zero carbon future.
In a speech read on his behalf by the Director General of Administration at the Ministry of Transport, Richard Fidiele, the Minister of Transport noted that Ghana has intensified efforts to secure its maritime domain against unregulated and illegal practices that could pose a threat.
Looking into the future, our commitment to a global decarbonization agenda is unwavering. Ghana is actively promoting green shipping practices and also encouraging investment in cleaner fuel and energy-efficient port infrastructure. None of this achievement would have been possible without the unwavering dedication of the people who form the backbone of this industry.
And those were some happenings at the maritime industry and at the port as we brought it to you. Now, the maritime industry plays a crucial role in the global economy with over 90% of international trade carried by sea. However, the Environmental Protection Agency notes that approximately 8 million tons of plastic enter oceans annually. More importantly, research conducted by the environmental NGO Ellen MacArthur suggests that by 2050, plastic pollution in the oceans will outweigh fish by weight. Studies show that plastic increases coral reef disease rates by 22 times, threatening marine ecosystem. This environmental impact affects fish population and overall ocean health, making it essential to tackle plastic pollution for the survival of aquatic life. Well, thank God that September offers us a beautiful opportunity to reflect upon these problems as we celebrate World Maritime Day. Interestingly, the theme for this year's maritime celebration, our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity, even sends a clarion call on how critical the matter that faces us. And that's why I am so privileged to be joined in the studio by two knowledgeable men who will help us digest the issues at stake and also look out for solutions to our problems. So I've been joined this evening by Kweku Amponsa Boahene. He's a board member of the Plastic Punch. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Boahene. I'm so happy to have you here. Also with me in the studio is Albert Derek Fiatui, who is Executive Director at the Center for International Maritime Affairs. Thanks so much for coming. So let's get the ball rolling, gentlemen. And first of all, I want us to chew on this whole research by this MacArthur Foundation that says that by 2050, we'll have more plastics than fish in the ocean. So worrying, right? Let's start with you, Mr. Boyne.
Thank you very much again. Aisha, I think the data that you just represented doesn't even post the whole picture yet.
Okay.
There are a bit more of danger on our side.
Okay.
If you look at all the research that has come out and where we are heading towards, it's quite clear that pollution from plastics, if we don't take care, is going to give us a problem that we can never solve. Because the advent of production of plastics until they leave the earth, it is something like a demon that has been set forth for destruction.
Okay.
For instance, if you look at what we know, it is clear that plastics actually take close to 500 to 1,000 years before they leave the earth.
Okay.
But that's even a myth. It is not true.
Okay.
The truth is that when it gets to the 1,000th year, they turn into microplastics and nanoplastics. They get ingested by fishes and they get back into our ecosystem.
So they usually don't even
They
go
don't
away
go anywhere.
at all.
Plastics never leave the earth.
Okay.
And that is the gloomy picture we want to post today. Again, if you look at the volume of plastic that we are producing, if you look at the topic we are discussing today, we want to reverse the effects of plastics. But it appears that the volume of plastics coming into the environment totally outweighs the actions that are being taken globally. And if you come to the West and Central Africa, it's even worse. So the speed of production and pollution far outweighs what we can do as human beings in reversing that trend. You mentioned 2050.
Okay.
It is getting closer than that. It is clear. A lot of research is going on. It is clear and possible that 2050 year may be taken aback. The years will be reduced.
Okay.
So it tells you the speed of the pollution as against the action that are being taken. So I think we are in for a big trouble if you don't start something very.
We are in for a day, Albert Fiatui. This must be worrying. I mean.
Thank you very much. Let me take the opportunity to extend regards to our viewers and our members of the Center for International Maritime Affairs Ghana, our fellows and other directors. Yes, indeed, we are in danger as a continent and as a globe. because the research the figures that we've put out, like my brother says, are not even very accurate.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that they've not done a good work.
Mm.
But what we know is that about 250 million tons of plastics are already in the oceans.
Okay.
And the 8 million is what goes in annually, if not more than that. So to say that 2050, I think is not very accurate, because we are now in 2025. So that is 25 years.
Yes.
Our projection is that by 2030, if nothing is done, if any major action is not taken, whatever they are projecting for 2050 will come earlier than expected.
Okay.
Yes, thankfully the ocean decade is now awake and is calling on nations to take pragmatic actions. But we are saying that there is more that needs to be done. The timeline they are giving to the countries are too long. They need to put a lot more pressure so that the danger ahead is taken care of. If not, we will not be able to live, because at the end of the day, we know that the ocean is the biggest carbon sink.
Okay.
And if it is the biggest carbon sink where we are now, climate change is destroying everything. And the ocean is the only thing that is holding us up. And we are not able to take care of it. It means that life on Earth will go away. We'll not have people living on Earth again if we don't take care of the oceans and we allow plastic pollution to continue.
I think for us to actually understand what we're dealing with, we need to first of all look at the contribution of the maritime wholly to our economy, to economic, to the global economy, global trade, economic development, and our livelihood as people. Before then, once we understand that, then we know that we are dealing with a bigger problem. Let's look at the contribution of the maritime sector to global trade and economic development. Mr. Fiatri.
Okay. As we all know, 90% of global trade is carried by sea, and I think 70% by volume is carried by steam. So the maritime industry plays a critical role in our existence, especially in Africa, where we are import dependent. Most of the things that we depend on are imported from other countries. And so the maritime industry plays a very critical role. And the industry also contributes to the pollution that we are talking about. So it is important that even though it is giving us a lot of benefit, we depend on it so much, we pay attention to some negative impacts that is having on the Earth's surface, on the seas, and on our lives. Generally, we say that 80% of the pollution is from activities outside the oceans, but 20% is from the activities on the ocean. That is the maritime industry, shipping, the petrochemical industry, which is also part of the maritime industry, and also fishing. So we will say that yes, the maritime industry contributes largely to global trade and our existence, but there are also some negative effects when it comes to pollution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now that we know the importance of the maritime industry to globally, locally, to us individually, let's look at the causes of plastic pollution. Mr. Boahene.
All right. Thank you. So we at Plastic Punch, since our inception in 2018, clearly takes it from our approach is to attack this menace from the point of from the known to the unknown.
Okay.
So what we know, like my brother said, is that 80% of pollution is from land, about 20% from the seaworld.
Okay.
So what that tells you is that whilst we are on land, we clearly may have to tackle the problem from there. And that tells you the cause and effect. And as you rightly asked, the causes of pollution are myriad, quite a number of them. Households contribute to it. But first of all, I'd like to place it mainly at the doorstep of manufacturers who produce plastics.
Okay.
They are the major cause of people that we need to look at. And then you come down to look at households who do use plastics each and every day. In our environment in Ghana, you can clearly see that any time that you step out there, you are given a plastic, what we call the single-use plastics. You buy a product in Ghana today, 1 Ghana cedi, and you are given a plastic rubber, polythene, to use. You step into the next shop and you are given another plastic. It tells you that the contribution of the human being, whilst as citizens in Ghana, tells you that we are doing so much. So one of the cause of pollution on the ocean comes from we the citizens. Our consumption patterns every single day. We use plastic in water, in bottles, in drinks, all the time.
And packaging our food.
We have
food
plastic now, the styrofoam and everything is all around.
Yeah, and talking about this wrapping of stuff with plastic, sometimes I go to the market or to the supermarket or something and I'm overwhelmed. So what I do is I take off the packs and I leave it with them and I take the products. After all, that's what I want.
Thank you very much.
And that's what I bought.
We are grateful. You are joining the campaign and that is rightly so. We at Plastic Points, we don't take rubbers when we step out there.
Yeah.
You buy your product, the products you need. These plastic polythene bags are not so much needed.
Yeah.
After all, you can carry paper bags and stuff for carriage if you want. So I've mentioned 2 main causes, manufacturers, citizens. We are also looking at the seaward fishers by the use of their fishing nets. They are so, the molecule that I use to produce things are so solid that when they drop them in the sea, they don't decay and they contribute to the volumes of plastic that we have in the sea. We are also looking at direct leaching and dumping. Let me tell a very interesting story of when I live in the Maritime University campus. Usually the World Maritime Day is our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity. The ocean is supposed to be an opportunity for us, but sorry to say, in our part of the world, I was living very close to the sea, but when I get visitors in my house, instead of taking them to the beach, which is the best recreation for them, I rather send them to the malls in the inner city. And you ask me why? Am I crazy? No. I do that because if you look at the volume of debt at our beaches, it is not palatable to visit as recreation. So one of the causes also is direct dumping by individuals. And this is a very big trouble, I always say. So these are a few of the causes.
Mr. Fiatri, so now that we're talking about all these people, manufacturers, even retailers who we buy things from, who package with plastics, for us, the individuals who consume the stuff and we also end up dumping them in the... Let's look at the effects. What are the effects of the plastic pollution? I mean, which species are mostly affected?
Thank you very much. I think we as human beings who depend on the ocean resources are more or mostly affected, aside the marine mammals. Because eventually, especially the fishes that get ingested, we go back for them and eat them. That is why we see the rising incidence of cancer cases and what have you. Last week, I was listening to a radio station and they said that just in a month, 5,000 new cancer cases were recorded.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So aside the issue of illegal mining, plastic pollution is also causing so much harm to our health. And so there is the need for us to pay critical attention to that. My brother was saying that he doesn't take his visitors to
the beach.
When you go to the Maritime University, where we train people in ocean administration, maritime administration, and what have you, there's a bridge over there. You cannot imagine the level of plastics that is in that bridge.
Stuck there.
And so we think that as a people, we are not paying attention to the challenge that we have at hand. By now, we should all be conscious of the fact that this is a danger to our existence. And so even little kids in schools should begin learning about the oceans. That is why we keep saying that there is a need for ocean literacy. When you understand ocean literacy, you know that you need to protect the oceans. The ocean is not a dumping ground. It's not a place where anything that you think that you cannot use, you go and throw it in there and then it takes care of it. That is, or that used to be our mindset. But research is coming up to say that that is not the case. We are rather destroying our lives and destroying everything that we have come to meet on earth. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite worrying that you talk about the health implications, because you enjoy fish, I do enjoy fish. We love our seafood. I love my shrimps,
crabs,
octopus,
yes.
all those things. And now, if we're hearing that the sea is being polluted and all these, they are consuming it for us to consume, that's really dangerous. Let's look at the health implications of consuming seafood with microplastics.
So if you look at I wouldn't pretend to be a doctor here, but if you look at the effects of plastics when they are consumed as microplastics, one of the things that it does to the human body is to alter the immune system. So if something can alter your immune system, then probably that thing is challenging nature.
Yeah.
So all the diseases that are associated with your immune system, called autoimmune diseases, are bound to happen to us.
Okay.
Right from arthritis to neuro problems that affect your brain, and all those things, those problems. In fact, type 1 diabetes can clearly be attributed to even the consumption of plastics.
Okay.
And it's an interesting something that we all have to be aware of. Normally, we think of diabetes to be related to sugar.
Yeah.
But if research is saying that today, type 1 diabetes is a result of micro and nanoplastics, then you can know the extent to which this thing is causing us. So the diseases are a lot, many of them. Arthritis, type 1 diabetes, immunodiseases, hormonal changes, inability for certain even parts of the body to function properly, can all be attributed back to plastics, pollution in the ocean, which is ingested by the fishes.
How do we reverse this trend? How do we get our communities, how do we get even government to ensure that these plastics are prevented from getting into our oceans?
Very well, thank you again. So if you look at the action, in fact, Ghana has a policy on plastic management, national policy on plastic management. It was made in 2020. And if you look at the data and the information that is in there, it is lovely. As we always say, we always have the best policies and the best laws in our country. But what comes down to do is the implementation. When you look at the documents and the volume of suggestions that has been properly researched and so put for us to overcome plastics, and you look at what is happening today, it's a problem. So I would like to advise and put this categorization down. Plastic, the fight against plastics and its effects on the ocean can be considered from a point of view from individuals, to an extent that when you and I are going to use plastics, we can think about a few advice that I can give today. At Plastic Point, we always advise that, earlier on I mentioned that we will advise that the use of single-use plastics should be done away with. In our homes, practically, we can practice what we call waste segregation, so that plastics are not mixed up with all other materials. That takes you to the point of waste disposal. So when our waste disposal companies come around, they come to pick all our waste together. When they are put at the landfill site, rain happens and it carries everything with it to our seas, including plastics. So when we do waste segregation at home, in our offices, then we can also give it to the waste disposal companies in the same way, so that they are able to cater for it in the best way. When it comes to the government side, I think government's main work they have to do for us is policy direction, and then implementation of these policies. When you look at the document I was talking about, the National Policy on Waste Plastic Management, it has been aligned a number of things that have to be done. One of them to include education of the citizenry, which I don't think has to be at the national level. It needs to go down to the municipal and the assemblies, so that they can have direct contact with the people, educate them. At Plastic Point, we do one thing that we call citizen science. What is citizen science? Our approach in citizen science is to ensure that you and I are involved in the daily management of waste. So that when we go to our beach to clean, you and I are there. We go and pick the plastics ourselves. Whilst picking it up, the data that we record, we put all these plastics, we put them on our weighing bridge, we weigh it, and we see the volume of pollution that we are doing on a daily basis. When we did the cleanup exercise with the Ghana Maritime Authority on Tuesday, when we finished the cleanup exercise, the Director General and all the bosses were asking me that they don't see the volume of work they have done. Because after picking, they could still see a lot of debris.
Wow.
And it was bad to hear.
Yeah.
So that citizen science approach is to put us on the front of fighting the menace of plastic pollution. That is the individual side. So, and one of the things that we should do more is collaborative work.
Okay.
You and I, intergovernmental agencies, nobody should look at plastic waste fight as a money issue. Money should be put aside.
Yeah.
We should first attack the issue, and when finances come in, then we also.
And it should be collective. It should be a collective responsibility,
including manufacturers.
Because I'm happy you mentioned the issue of policies, and that brings me to how effective the policies regulating marine pollution has been. How has that been over the period?
I think I would say that we have had very fantastic policies in place. The challenge, however, is the implementation, the enforcement of those policies to make sure that we are able to tackle the challenge. About 3 years ago, the UN Ocean Panel under the United Nations came up with a plan that all countries should come up with their sustainable ocean plans. And in that plan, they are supposed to take care of challenges such as the plastic pollution. So far, some countries, I think few countries have been able to come up with a plan. I know Ghana is working on it or has worked on it, but we are not seeing the implementation anywhere. And for us, the solution now goes beyond just policies. It's about going to the people and letting them know that this is the challenge that is at hand. Let's go to the schools so that the young ones will begin to understand what the problem is. If we say we have policies at the national level, at the assembly level, or at any other level, and we are not enforcing such policies and making sure that people understand the challenge itself, I mean, nothing is going to happen. Across board, we have very good policies, we have very good regulations, we have very good laws. Even last year at the United Nations Environment Programme conference that was held in Geneva, it was mentioned that yes, they are leading policy, but now it has gone beyond just the policies. The organizations that are affiliated to the UNEP has to now take the responsibility to go to the ground and make sure that we sensitize the people to appreciate what we have at hand. So yes, the policies are good, but now we have run out of time on them. We need to rather hit the ground running so that we can be able to address the challenge.
So then that takes us to technology and innovation, because I can recall that I have done so much research in plastic waste. When I was my first degree, my thesis was on plastic waste. I have done at least 2 theses on plastic waste. And I mean, for all these years, we've been talking about this, and you talk about the fine policies that we have, but we still are not going anywhere. That means that probably we have to change certain things, because we can't be doing the same things and expect to achieve different results. What then can we do with technology and innovation? How can this, seamlessly be incorporated in our activities to ensure that we reverse this trend?
Thank you. All right, so earlier on, the point of interagency collaboration came in. I think this is where the idea must start from. No one individual or institution is a repository of knowledge. So it is clear that there are other institutions who are engaged in these directions. We must look for their knowledge and implement them. At Plastic Punch, one of our ongoing programs is called COESN.
Okay.
That's Coastal Ocean Environment Summer School in Nigeria and Ghana. And then one of them also is Protego, Prevention of Litter on the Oceans. With our collaboration with these institutions, especially Allegri from Germany, they came out with even one technology that we can start looking at the source of pollution in Ghana, and simply put, by putting maps together.
Okay.
So on our website, if you go there, you can look at the plastic pollution hotspots in Ghana. This is simple use of technology. But sitting down Ghana here, we thought pollution fight is about segregation, cleaning the beach, disposal, and that.
Yeah.
So it's very good we have brought in technology. So even our mapping system can be used to identify hotspots for plastic pollution in Ghana, so that we can have
much
pinpoint attention to those areas, whilst energies can be concentrated elsewhere. Another technology that we can also look at, since we are saying that most of 80% of our plastics in the ocean are from land, one of the things that we can use are ocean barriers. Ocean barriers. These are extended casings which are put in the ocean of our river bodies, who are the tributaries carrying the debris. We can put these barriers in the ocean, at the front of the ocean, or within our river bodies, so that when the debris is being carried, when they get there, they will be trapped, and then they will be taken care of. AI is abundant today. We cannot say we are not going to deploy AI in our use, whether in research, whether in deploying them on the ocean. There are even acoustic focus devices, which are like scanners. They are deployed. If you look at Germany and all these areas, they are doing so much of that. So what that acoustic focus does is that it uses radar to just go into the sea, identify plastics, gather them, in fact, push them, it's like magnetic effect, gather them together so that they can be collated and cleaned as easily as possible. So these are technologies that are going on in the world. So if you talk about collaboration, it comes down to the use of technology. We cannot say that we are sitting down here and everything, like you said, we cannot do the same things every day and expect different results. We need to change our approach, and technology is one way to go.
Technology is one way to go. And of course, that means we have to talk about the bigger picture. We've been talking about sustainable shipping. We're talking about the bigger picture, which is the maritime industry. What really are the challenges, and why can't we promote sustainable shipping?
I think what the challenges are enormous, but for the maritime industry, specifically shipping, I think IMO, the organizers of the International Maritime Day have come up with some measures to tackle their aspect of the challenge. That is to reduce the emissions from ships in the oceans, and also ensure that our seafarers and members of the shipping fraternity who ply the seas are able to abide by the rules and regulations guiding their operations at sea, especially when it comes to pollution. There are tracking mechanisms now in place that they are able to follow ships, such that when they pollute, they monitor them and penalize them. That is the reason why they also came up with the issue of the reduction in sulfur content. I think 50%. 50%. And so the challenges are there, but for the maritime industry specifically, measures are being put in place to be able to tackle it.
Okay, but we're talking about technology and innovation. What role does it play in all of this?
I didn't want to mention this, but last year, the UNEP again had a conference, and they have engaged some people who have some technology with AI, and they are saying that they can, in the next few years, they will be able to pick up the plastics that we have in the oceans. But it's a research that is being undertaken. They have not completed their work yet. So we are hoping that if that is done, then they will be able to tackle that challenge of using technology to take out the plastics in the oceans. They said it should not be spoken about now, because once we know that, there is that solution, then people are going to be reckless again. They will think that, oh, there's a technology to clear the oceans of plastic, so they will now begin to. So until the research is completed and they are sure that that technology can work effectively, we can only be doing what we have to do as a people. Make sure that we are disciplined, we are able to protect ourselves by ensuring that we don't do things that will eventually endanger our own lives. Yes. Yes.
That's quite interesting, and we've all agreed here that it's a collective responsibility. If it's a collective responsibility, and we've already identified 3 key people who are causing these pollutions. One, the manufacturers, we've talked about retailers, and even the consumers, we the individuals. What then is our responsibility? I'm talking about industry, the companies that all do the packaging and all that. I'm talking about even tourism. What is our responsibility? All the stakeholders, what's the responsibilities that we individually have to play to collectively deal with this pollution?
High level of responsibility, I must say. If you look at the effect of our actions on the ocean, we have all stated it without number. The actions that has to be taken here to allow to categorize again individuals, tourism. I think one of the ways that the tourism industry can look at this, because they normally deploy the use of our inland waterways, that also have a lot of pollution contributing to our oceans. So what again that they can do as a tourism industry is look at certification, eco-certification, so that businesses that are certified to be eco-friendly are really propped up into ensuring that their actions are sustainable and do not affect the environment. Individuals in their own ways, we have stated them time and over again, is that we have to be responsible in our daily activities, in the volumes of plastics that we consume. I would like to introduce the term circular economy. Circular economy is one broad way that together we can all fight the menace of plastics. And what does that mean? It means that when plastics are produced, we don't just use them and dispose. We use them and reuse. When we have reused them and they have gone beyond their usable quality, then we can move to reintroducing them back for something else. So if you and I lose our foams in the house, we don't just immediately dump them, but we can think about another innovative way of making sure that these foams, for instance, are not just dumped. We can deploy them into another thing to be used in our house. By doing that, all these volumes will be cut down. Do we get? Yeah. So there are even more aggregated form where you are redeploying them for use. And our normal refrain, recycling. If you are not deploying them again in the house, we can dispose, but let us recycle them. Let us segregate them properly and recycle them for use back into the environment. By doing that, it looks like a more sustainable way of dealing with the volumes. This method deals with the volumes of plastic that are produced and eventually end up hitting us.
When I return from this break, we'll be looking at more innovative solutions to our problems. We would also be looking at international corporations and agreements that are needed to effectively address this challenge. Plus, we'll be looking at how we can use biodegradable alternatives to traditional plastics to help reduce marine pollution. You would also get the opportunity to send me your WhatsApp messages, which I'll be reading shortly. The number is 0538 037353. All of that after this break. Do stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, who feel ya? Huh? Who be feel? Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena. You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately. There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302 246319 or 0302 246644 or any of our branches, agencies, and brokers spread across the nation. You can as well connect with us on our WhatsApp chatbot. Efiba is waiting to assist you. Make the future predictable with Phoenix Insurance. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
Welcome back to Iron Port, and we're having some interesting conversation here. And my question is, has there been enough punitive measures to, deter people from polluting the environment and even, narrow it down to our oceans? Who should I give that to? Let me start from you, Mr. Boy.
For this is a general knowledge question, and it comes down to the mindset that we have as a people. if in 2025, you and I are citizens of our nation, Ghana, feel free to throw rubbish on the street, then there is a big problem somewhere. I think our minds have to change. And I don't know how we are going to do that. We are not supernatural beings to put a new kind of thinking into people. But I would just advocate that between you and I, as citizens, the littering is just too much. We think that the littering that we do today will be taken care of by somebody. What about don't litter at all? What about, Aisha, you were saying, what about you have consumed something? Don't just throw it away. Keep it in your bag. Keep it in your pocket. Your yogurt sachet in your pocket for 2 hours will not hurt anything. When you get back home, you dispose it properly. And then the chain continues so that, we are active participants of this fight against plastic pollution. In fact, when you litter, just know that one day you will eat it. I think simply put.
Definitely, because we all consume tilapia. In fact, it's a favorite delicacy. And now, you know how many plastics the one tilapia is consuming that will come back and end up in your tummy.
Very dangerous.
So we have to be careful. So I was talking about international corporations and agreements that we need to actually reverse this trend.
Yeah, so the Sustainable Ocean Plan that I mentioned earlier is one of the policy measures that the United Nations is putting in place to ensure that countries get conscientized about the importance of the oceans. And if we know that the ocean is very important to our existence, then we should know that polluting it is a danger to our health. In Ghana, I think the EPA has some regulations on plastic pollution. But again, the implementation is a challenge. Like we are saying now, there's so much indiscipline. We have the collaborations with the international organizations, with other countries across the globe. But as individual countries and as citizens, what are we doing to ourselves? We do not make sure that we do what is right. In Ghana today, we seek investors. I can tell you that the easiest business for the people who come to Ghana to work, our international partners, is plastic production. When you go to the Spintex Road, you go to Tema and all the industrial areas, most of them are into plastic production because it's very easy and cheap. And so when they come and do that and make the money, then who suffers? But you find out that when you go back to those people's own countries, they don't do the same things there. Interestingly, it doesn't happen in Ghana and affects only Ghanaians. It's a global issue. So there is a need for the international awareness, whether you do it in Ghana or America, it affects you. So those are the things that we have to really look at.
Let me announce that viewers can also join us in this conversation with the phone call. The number to call is 02583 4980 024583 4980. We've already said that this is a collaborative effort. This is a collective effort. All of us have to be on board to ensure we resolve the challenges. What are your comments? What are your ideas? Do you have questions? Let's hear you. The numbers are right there on your screens. Mr. Boaheni, let's look at biodegradable alternatives versus traditional plastics. How do we replace one with the other? Or how do we use one to resolve the challenges?
Okay, right. So, biodegradable, in fact, plastics are a problem, first of all, because of the constituents that come together to make it. And it comes down from the molecules, which are carbon and then other substances, carbon being the main problem. So any other alternative that do not have high volumes or high molecules of carbon in them are a good resort. So if you look at the earlier points on international conventions and all that, the maritime sector and the shipping industry have been able to do so well for themselves because every ship entering into any territorial sea has to be has to abide by certain rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And today, like I was saying, any kind of product that do not have these molecules in them can be looked at as alternatives. So what are these things? Some of them occur in nature. If you look at consumption in certain countries like Singapore and Malaysia, most of their eating habits are on bamboo.
Mr. Boyne, let me have you hold and pick this caller. Joe is calling us from Pantai. Joe, thank you so much for calling us. Let's hear you.
All right, Aisha.
Okay. Do we still have Joe on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Aisha.
Yes, Joe.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening,
Thank you
Joe.
very much for this topic you are treating. Hello, I'm here.
Joe, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right. Very interesting topic indeed. For one,
I think that we're losing Joe. Joe, maybe you would want to reposition yourself and give us a call again. We will really appreciate that. Mr. Boyne, you were saying.
So I was making the point that these products exist, some come in natural forms or in nature.
Yeah.
Like the example being the consumption style of certain Asian countries like Singapore and Malaysia.
Okay.
Their meals are served on even bamboo. And it's refreshing that when you eat that kind of food, you can see clearly that the taste is top notch as compared to.
I'm Derek. I'm calling from Community.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Boyne.
Right. So there are plant-based or nature-based things that we can resort to, like bamboo, like the use of things that do not have high polymers in them. In our homes, why don't we resort to the use of our old earthenware bowls, which are made of clay, and all these things, rather than buying rubber plastic to serve fufu, and all, even the heat that comes with serving food in a hot bowl.
I've seen some restaurants packaging banku in leaves.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good practice that we can emulate if we want to really deal with plastics.
Very well. One thing that is also going on currently as an innovation in the maritime industry is the use of lightweight materials in the production of ships.
Okay.
Now, a double hull ship at a point, due to the fight against pollution, the International Maritime Organization set out to advise ships that if you are producing your ship, it has to be a double hull.
Okay.
Eventually, double hull ships are having their own issues because of the volume of plastics or things that they are using in manufacturing. If we lower down on all these things, it means that clearly we are going somewhere.
Okay.
So in our homes, let us look at alternative ways.
Okay.
Things that it doesn't have to be plastic almost all the time.
Let me bring in Derek from Community 25, Tema. Derek, good evening. Thanks for calling us on Iron Port.
Good evening. I want to make a few contributions.
Go ahead, Derek.
When we are growing up, there was a tankasi. You can see them coming. Then we are running, telling our mother, tankasi is coming, tankasi is coming. But now, you see, it's not there anymore. And I don't know what the assemblies are doing. You have to bring them back. You have to bring them back. I think if they bring them back, it will help. It will bring some discipline in the system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Derek called us from Tema, Community 25. He says we should bring back town council. But I say, people, why do we need someone to push us to do the right things? If you and I living in, would you sleep when they ask you to go and sleep at like a refuse dump? Would you sleep there? So why do you need someone to tell you to clean your house? Mr. Fiatri?
I think it's just the indiscipline, first of all, and also the fact that a lot of people do not appreciate the effects of what we are talking about until something happens to you or a family member of yours is sick. Maybe you go to Kolebu and they tell you that, oh, this cancer or this sickness is caused by consumption of some plastic, whatever. then you begin to appreciate what we are talking about. So most people, I would say, are ignorant of the actual effects of plastic pollution.
Mhm.
Yes, it's not only on marine mammals, it's not only on the fishes in the sea, but ourselves. Do we want to kill ourselves? No.
Yeah.
So that is the level we have to get to, that whatever we are doing with plastic pollution is killing us.
Mm.
So let us stop it.
Joe from Pantine is back. Joe, good evening and welcome back to Iron Port.
Good evening, Aisha. I love your program and it's an interesting topic you are discussing.
Thank you.
I don't want to think that the discussion is only limited to marine life because the plastic menace is crazy. I, for once, had thought about it and I want all and sundry to get involved. In fact, from the Ghana Education Service, train the school kids on how to manage plastics, probably get a recycling plant in each and every second cycle institution so that we can come up with something innovative with the plastic waste. A couple of weeks or months ago, I heard the president declaring that he's going to ban plastic, and I don't think that is the way to go. Let us find innovative ways to recreate some things out of it. Plastics can be used for so many things. And I would like Mr. Bwahi to leave his contact. I would like to get in touch with him so that I have a discussion with him because I'm very passionate about the plastic menace in this country. Thank you.
Joe, thank you so much for your contribution. But that also brings me to the IMO. What is the role of IMO in all of this?
Well, the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, they are the UN body that is supposed to regulate the maritime industry specifically. Even though now there are suggestions that their work just goes beyond just the maritime industry and looking at the general blue economy. So their role actually is to regulate the maritime industry and ensure that people who are in the industry go by the international standards.
Okay.
Because they mainly look at the issues of safety, sustainability, and environmental protection, and ensuring that the activities of the players in the industry do not end up destroying the same industry that they are trying to work in. So generally, that is the role. That is why in 1978 they came out with the World Maritime Day celebration, and every year they pick various teams to drive home the issues. This year we are looking at this topic because we know that we are facing a great danger when it comes to our oceans. Hitherto, people really talk about the oceans. We thought that as for the ocean, it's just a big and a vast body of water that anything that is pushed in there
will
is able
just
to
take care of itself.
Yes, but now we are beginning to realize that that is not the case. If the ocean is not safe, we are also not safe. Yeah.
Well, before we leave, Mr. Wan, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to contribute to the role of the maritime, of the world.
IMO,
International Maritime.
Before you even do that, let me pick Agatha from Ashongma Estate. Agatha, good evening. Thanks for calling Iron Port.
Good evening, madam. Thank you so much for this wonderful topic today. I would also like to say that, in the olden days, we used to buy things with paper bags. When you go to market, you see paper bags all around.
Okay.
So it will help so much. Since we have restaurants, hotels, companies who do business with plastics, if there will be a policy, like all big companies in Ghana, if they are forced to use paper bags, it will help so much. And then also cane baskets. For me, I'm grown, but I saw my grandparents, my mother, my dad, when we go to market, we use cane baskets. So we pack everything inside, cover it with a napkin, then we bring them to the house. But for now, the prices are so much. If cane baskets can be introduced again, and we should start our schools. It will help so much. And then our schools will know the dangers involved in applying plastic so much in our homes. I think we should go back to our roots by using paper bags much more than the
plastic bags. Thank you very much, Agatha, for those wonderful contributions. Sabuaine.
All right, so just quick on the IMO. IMO basically regulates the maritime industry, and they sit at the top and look at the down. Normally, we think IMO is a bit reactive. They wait for things to happen, and then they promulgate policies to cater for them through their conventions. But the MAPO Convention, since its existence, has done so much to the industry in sustainability. But let me just put that quickly and then come to one policy way that we can manage our manufacturers. It's what we call the EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. This responsibility is placed at the doorstep of the producer to ensure that right from sourcing your raw materials through production to consumption to the time that the plastic is completely used, you are responsible for all that chain process to ensure that, you keep an eye on your product, which is the plastic that you are putting in the environment. We are not saying if you think you cannot stop your manufacturing to alternative and sustainable other ways, then we are advising that EPR is something that they can use, Extended Producer Responsibility, to ensure that they put it as part of a strategic plan in everything that they do in their operations, to ensure that when they source, they are monitoring. When they are producing, they are monitoring. When consumers are using the products, their eye is on it, and they will have a way that they will get back their products so that they are properly disposed and not left for the environment to come and bite us.
Mr. Fiatui, your last words to viewers out there, to stakeholders, because we've all agreed that it's a collective responsibility.
Yeah, I think we can say that there is the need for us to do more than we are currently doing. So there's this call, it's a global call, that all of us must put our hands on deck and ensure that we eradicate plastic pollution. What my brother was talking about ties into the polluter pays principle. So that those who are responsible for the pollution are the ones to pay for it. And once you are responsible for something, you make sure that you do it and do it properly. We are in danger. If we don't take care of these plastic menace, we are not going to have our lives.
How about the shipping lines? The ships that sail through our waters, they also dump waste in our waters, right?
They do. That is why we say that 20% of the pollution comes from the ships.
What role do they play in ensuring that we avert this menace?
Yes, the polluter pays principle applies to them. So there are some fines that are applied when they are found guilty. And sometimes I think the IMO has some fund that whether you pollute or not, you contribute to make sure that they give these monies to organizations that are in the fight against plastic pollution.
I'm grateful for your time, gentlemen. Mr. Boahene is with Plastic Punch and Albert Fiatui is with CIMAC. Grateful that you joined me. Iron Port is brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GO PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Lake Network Services, Meridian Port Services, and Finis Insurance. Remember, the show is proudly powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority-GPHA, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times, BNFT. Make time to watch the abridged version. Is at 8:30 p.m. on GTV. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.